Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. My name's Barb Pitcock. This is No Guts, No Story. Every single Saturday morning at 9 a.m., here we are live on Facebook. And not just Facebook, but YouTube. We're streaming on all of my platforms, LinkedIn. There's a podcast on Apple, Spotify. I love every Saturday morning because it gives me a chance to bring people good value. It brings me a chance to give you hope. I've always been studying during the week, always learning, always growing, and it just gives me a way to pour all of that out, and it's absolutely free. So I want to welcome all of you. If you haven't ever watched, please drop in the comments and say, this is my first time seeing you. And if you're watching it live, up in the top, it's going to say live. But if you're watching the replay, you're not going to see that little live button up there. So go up to the little dots and click follow. I cannot add any more friends on Facebook, but I can take followers. And you guys, I want to lead you all in a way where you feel better, because when you feel better, you do better. So this week, Dave and I have had a crazy week. We actually should probably be at home, locked in an office, grinding, focused, charts on the wall. But we have put ourselves in the middle of all of the top people in the world in our industry, and not just in our industry, but in the roles that we play. And so it's a sacrifice, you guys, to take that many days away. It took a lot of money to get the ticket, to book the hotel, to get on the airplane. But what you have to understand is that if you really want to become the best that you can be, you have to look at where you're at and where you want to go. And you've got to find people that will push you, that will pull you, that will tug you, that will kick your butt, that will tell you that you're amazing, that you're worth it, that you can do it. And you don't find that when you're sitting at home in a rut around all the people that you're comfortable being around, where if you don't do anything, it's probably going to be okay and nothing is uncomfortable, because growth only happens when you're outside of your comfort zone. And let me tell you guys, this week, Dave and I have gotten completely out of our comfort zone. We're leading a company, we're launching a company, we have $1 million earners following us, and some of them have been wildly successful. And I'm just humbled looking around, like, this is better than I ever envisioned it. And you guys, when you have a vision board and you put yourself out there and you step into alignment with what really matters to you, what really matters, not what's comfortable, not what pays the bills, not what you probably should do better at, but you're not. Like, you've got to get yourself into a position where you draw a line in the sand and you say, enough is enough. I'm not screwing around anymore. I'm going all the way to the top. And somehow that happened to me. Now, let me tell you guys, I've been writing and journaling for about 2 years. And there was a girl that spoke at a Most Powerful Women event maybe 5 years ago, longer than that. It was 2017. So it was probably more like 6 or 7 or 8 years ago. But I remember watching her. And this girl came up on stage at an Eric Worre event like this. And I was so broken. I was a earner that had 120,000 a month coming in. I was an earner that had owned a company, I had led a company, I had lost, I had won, I had lost, I had won. Here's the reality: I had something so amazing, and I got in the wrong circle, and I listened to the wrong people, and I let the wrong message get in my ear, and I created this alliance with my baby that I had birthed and built, and it was incredible and debt free, and 9 years of this family culture. And all of a sudden, based on a little bit of ego, and I'm going to admit, based on a little bit of, oh, we could make more, we could go bigger, we could be worldwide. Like, there were good people, and there were people that maybe were good people that maybe just didn't have my best intentions in mind. Sometimes it's an upline, sometimes it's a sideline, sometimes it's a consultant, sometimes it's somebody you just met and you get all hyped up and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to be with them. How many of you guys have ever made a poor decision, but it was a good decision based on all of the evidence that you had, and then later you are living with maybe blame, shame, regret, woulda, coulda, shoulda. And as Les Brown says, you woulda, coulda, shoulda till you should all over yourself. That's exactly what people do. And I don't know where you're at right now, but I want to tell you, I'm so grateful for every mistake that I ever made, because everybody here says fail forward, fail forward, fail forward, fail forward, keep going, get back up, do it with more enthusiasm the next time. And most people in your circle at home say, you tried that and you failed. What are you even thinking about? Do you remember when? Do you not know what happened to your mother's brother, sister's cousin? You know, there's always someone trying to pull you back down in the bucket of crabs, because crawdads where we live, we don't have any seawater, but a lot of lakes and a lot of rivers. We live on a river in Kansas. We live on a lake in Oklahoma. Have you guys ever seen a or crabs? And they're all in the bottom and they're just all over each other. But when one tries to crawl out of the bait bucket, everybody else pulls them back down. And that's your reality if you're not in the circle. And let me tell you, if you're the smartest one in this circle, you need to get in a different circle. Because me being the smartest one, the top money earner, the top leader, the one with the most experience, the one that wrote the book, the one that trained on the stage, like, that's not giving me any value. That's me having ego saying, follow me, respect my authority. I am the one. Look at what I've done. Listen to my training, take notes. Nobody wants to do that, you guys. You will go find a mentor and you will attach yourself to someone that you can actually learn from. Now, there's two kinds of people. And I have learned this at a mastermind a month ago, all day long on Wednesday at a CEO summit, and all day long yesterday at the grand, big audience. Like, I've been with Eric Worre more in the last 30 days, Dave and I both, than we have with our own kids and family. We have been a sponge. And let me tell you something. There is a huge difference in someone that's a leader and someone that's an earner. Some of you look up to people because they've made a lot of money, they have a lot of success. Maybe they inherited it. Maybe they got lucky because of a position or an acquisition or something. There's a lot of people in my hometown. Some of them invest in an oil well and it hits the first time and they're just rich, right? And there's other people like me that invest in an oil well and it's dry, and then we pay to put the dirt back in the hole, and you pay for all the, like, what? You tried and you failed and you paid for it? Like, I realized a long time ago, I don't need to be an oil investor. That's not me. My brother has some oil, my friends have some oil, all my family works in the oil field. Millionaires come from oil, right? I'm not in alignment with that. It doesn't make me excited to just make money. I would take it, but what gets me excited is contribution. Now, it's not always been that way, because when I was 23 and Dave was 24 and I was cutting hair, teaching dance, working in a full service salon, you know, selling this, that, and everything in an antique and gift gallery, started a coffee bar because we thought, oh, espresso was the next thing. You guys, we were coffee before coffee was even cool. I remember my English teacher, Mr. Crenshaw, walking in, looking at the board saying, espresso. I don't even think he knew it was a word, and he was the English teacher. And the next thing he said is, $4? This was 1996. Dave's over there. We bought the $5,000 machine, $5,000 in the machine to make coffee, to sell coffee for $4. You guys do the math on this. How many cups of coffee in a traditional business does a person have to sell to make $5,000 back just to pay for the machine? Not the beans, not the employee, not the neon sign that was $500, not going to pay for the bistro tables, not going to pay for the cute little things that you put in your coffee shop. Like, people go crazy in traditional business. And you know what's really sad? They don't even think about how long it's going to take them to make a profit. They just know, I got a bunch of loans, I got a bunch of debt, I'm a business owner. Here we go. This is going to be amazing, right? and they work and they grind and they work and they grind. And everybody says, yay, look at Barb. She's an entrepreneur. She started a business. She drops her kids off in the morning. She picks them up late at night. She doesn't see her husband. She's stressed out about the bills. She's cutting 100 people's hair for $7 a haircut to make $700. She's so successful. And what they don't realize, Barb has no time, no freedom, losing her mind, dropping her kids off at 7 in the morning, picking them up at night, missed the first word, missed when the baby crawled, missed when the baby rolled over, can't snuggle when the baby has a fever, but at least she's working. And you know what, guys? That's what people in America praise. Work, 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 right? And here's the thing. When you do become successful, they say, she got lucky. Oh, she's so lucky. Everything she does just turns to gold. Now, let me tell you the true story. This is why I wrote the book, No Guts, No Story. This is why I wrote the book. The reality is, much like the girl I heard on a stage here at an event like this 8 years ago, I'm the girl that was struggling. I'm the girl that didn't have any self-confidence. I'm the girl that didn't have a dad at home the night she graduated. I'm the girl that helped my mom buy milk, unthaw the pipes under her trailer house, go to beauty school all day, get home, go wait tables, hustle at the 24/7 stop to shop. Like, I'm the girl that was broken. And let me tell you what happened. Somewhere along the way, and the keynote speaker last night, I don't know how many of you watched that live that I posted last night. I had no idea that he owned the Yankees till we were driving home from the event. I'm backstage getting a picture, haven't even ever listened to his podcast, don't know anything about him, but the 45 minutes that he had spoke, the most powerful thing that he said, if you look at the most successful people in the world, there are some characteristics about them. At some point in their life, they felt massive failure, betrayal, hurt, something that moved them to say, you're going to know who I am and you're going to remember my name and I'm going to go be somebody. Something happened in their life where they had pain or regret or something. But he also said they have someone in their life that has showed them an unconditional love. And you guys, I'm around a ton of people, and I hear a lot of conversations. And most of the conversations that I hear are not normally lifting people up. They're not normally love. They're not normally encouragement. Everybody's bickering. Everybody's arguing. Everybody's divided. Everybody's competing. Everybody's got an opinion and they have a right to their opinion. But let me tell you, you could be that somebody for someone out there that has never ever had a mentor, a grandma, a mother, a brother, a husband, or someone that just said, I love you, I believe in you, you can crush this, I know you're going to do this. And fortunate for me, I've had a lot of tough love in my life. I'm tough because my dad made me tough. I'm tough because I had a lot of failures. I'm tough because I was the oldest of 5 and I had to grow up at age 12 and help my mom raise them all. Like, I feel like I'm tough because I had red hair and I got made fun of as a freckle-faced little redhead, like a you don't even want to know the rhyme they said, copper top battery, Duracell. You know, people would go like this when I walked in the pool because my skin was so light. Like, everything about me, I hated. I hated everything about me. And because I hated everything about me, every time that I was in a room, I felt less than. Every time that I was out with all the girls, I felt like I'm the one that no guy would ever want to date, right? Every time that we were in marriage and family class in high school and all the pretty girls were planning their weddings, and I don't know why you even have that class in high school. Like, they should have taught us how to do our taxes or something, but instead we were making marriage and family books, right? And I remember thinking, what if I never get married? What if I never find a good husband? What if nobody is ever in love with me and loyal to me? Because in my head, I felt great trauma at the age of 12 when the only person who said, I love your red hair, it's so pretty. You're the most amazing girl in the whole church. You're the prettiest girl on the whole block. You're going to do great at your baton twirling recital. You're going to do awesome at your auto harp lesson. Now we're going to send you to piano classes. We should get you a guitar. Let's go to church. Like, I had this grandma that was constantly trying to find what was my gift. And she was constantly trying to bring it out in me and just showcase me as this amazing, beautiful little redhead granddaughter, right? And when I was 12 and she died, I looked for that feeling of significance in all the wrong places. And let me tell you guys, hurting people hurt people. Insecure people cut down other people. No self-confidence people make up stories and lies, and like, they do whatever they got to do to feel cool and significant and have the tea, right? They're the ones that send you the text message about everyone else. They're not bad people. They're just insecure. They're broken. They don't have any confidence. And I want to challenge you guys, because a lot of the stories that I see on stage are girls like that. When I think about Jessie Lee Ward, and yesterday they played this, oh my God, I literally was glad I was in the back row. I just wanted to leave the room because it was like there was a huge hole in the room. And the reality is, I used to be in events where people would be like, I can't even listen to her. Like, she's too much. And I would be like, I'm moving to the front row and I got 9 pages of notes, right? Find your person. Find your person that you can really like. I love how I feel when I'm around them. And then you be that person to the people who don't have a person. So for some reason, Dave always laughs and calls me Barbara Zorn Mills Pitcock, because my grandma Mills, she was a saint. I swear to God, she is an angel today, orchestrating so many generational blessings. I know she is. But then I married Dave, this man who thought I was the most beautiful thing that ever happened on the planet. Like, I was so insecure. You guys can ask him. I did not turn the light on in the bathroom when I showered or took a bath for at least 6 months of us being together. I didn't want anyone to see me. I didn't want anyone to see my body. I would get QT, quick tan. And this is before spray tans were a thing. And I would literally rub it all over my white skin and I would be like bright orange. Like, it was a train wreck trying to be darker skin like the pretty girls, coloring the red. Now I have to because it would be all gray, but coloring the red so it wasn't so bright, trying to find how I could ever fit in. And then one day there was this movie that came out, Pretty Woman. I don't know if you guys remember, maybe I'm dating myself, but when Julia Roberts was in Pretty Woman and she was a redhead, it was game on. Everyone in high school wanted hair my color. Everybody wanted to be a redhead. And all of a sudden, I was like, maybe it's okay to be a redhead. But you guys, I grew up when that was not cool. Like, you were literally like the minority outcast that everyone made fun of, and you were different. And let me tell you, I'm different. I am so different, and I don't even care who I annoy. I don't care if people say she talks too loud, she's too much. Oh my God, what did she do? Here's the thing, I make magic happen. I make pixie dust happen. I attract people like me that don't have to have it all together. They don't have to always be right. They might misspell something in there. You know, sometimes it's not because I'm in a hurry or misspell. Honestly, right now at 52, if I don't have these readers on, I can't even see those of you that are commenting right now, right? So here's the deal. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect. And I got these 3 little hairs because I'm testing this new product that has new hair growing out of everywhere. Like, what is up with them? And speaking of new products, you guys, because of the pain, because of what I've been through in the last 3 years, because everyone thought, oh my gosh, it's a hard time for the Pitcocks, Barb's experiencing this and that and the other. I swear the Lord was molding me like a piece of pottery. Like, you've got, how many of you watch Ghost? I think Demi Moore's probably the most beautiful woman when she cries. One day I was with someone and they said, she's so pretty. If she was my wife, I would just smack her till she cried to watch her cry because she's so beautiful. And I was like, that is a messed up philosophy. But who looks that pretty when she cries, right? Like when I was bawling my eyes out yesterday during that Jessie Lee Ward tribute, I was about to bite my lip off and I didn't know what to do. And Dave was handing me tissues. And, I was thinking about it. Why do we hide the way that we feel, the way that we look? Why don't we just step into it? Because people think Julia Roberts has the weirdest smile and the biggest mouth. And like people will talk about her all the time. And I'm over here like, she's freaking beautiful. Like, I think she's beautiful. And the thing is, you're always going to have half the people say, I can't stand watching her movies. And you have half the people that say, I love her movies. And then you have all the political stuff. I'm never watching it because she belongs to the wrong party. You know what? Here's the thing. We all came from the same championship bloodline. And the haters are the only ones that are stopping all the abundance and the blessings from flowing to them. And when you quit hating and creating division and always having to be right and talking bad and having all of your, let's tear down people because they're not like us, all you do is stop the blessing. You just stop the blessing 100%. And over the last 2 or 3 years, I felt like that piece of clay in the movie Ghost, where it literally looks beautiful and then all of a sudden the whole thing falls apart, right? And then it's a masterpiece and they're molding the pottery and it's like beautiful and then the whole dang thing falls apart. And when you think about it, one day, I believe it was Tom Schreider, we were in New Orleans at this platinum event for top leaders, and he was talking about the clay. Or maybe it was me doing the speech at New Orleans at the Platinum Club event. I don't know where the story came from, but I'm going to tell the story. So the clay is on, the potter is making the clay, and all of a sudden you have to take it off, smash it, knead it, smash it, knead it, smash it, knead it, roll it out, pour some more water on it, smash it, break it, knead it. How many of you guys have been smashed, broken, kneaded, flattened, steamrolled, water poured on you? Like, you've had it all, like, time and time and time again. It happens so that you can become a masterpiece. Because if I didn't go bankrupt at the age of 23, lose my virginity at the age of 12 because I was insecure and just needed someone to love me, like, I'm not ashamed of that, because the Lord used me in so many middle schools and high schools when I had a nonprofit to take that young girl that was looking for love in all the wrong places, that was abandoned, that was maybe abused at home, that didn't see any worth, and say, I am worth it. So when everybody was calling me whatever they were, and I was a bad girl in middle school and high school, God knew what he was doing. And there is forgiveness, and none of your mistakes are forever. And that story will be what is used to serve other people. So fast forward, I get into this relationship with this old boyfriend from 7th grade. He calls me for a haircut. He has a broken leg. He's a bull rider. I'm engaged. Dave's engaged, right? I'm telling you, the obstacle is the way. Write this down. The obstacle is the way. I'm reading this book right now. Eric Worre gave it to all the CEOs of 140 companies on Wednesday. There was $40 billion in the room. I was sitting next to the owners of Herbalife, the owner of Modere. Our name, our company name was on the banner right between Modere and Amway. I was like sandwiched with success, right? Like that. I sat in the room. I was like, how did I even get here? Even 30 years ago, when I was in Amway, I failed twice before I married Dave Pitcock. I sold House of Lloyd. I sold Christmas Around the World. I was the Avon lady. Arbonne had a free trip to Hawaii. I was like, I want to go to Hawaii. Signed up. When you own a salon and you have people coming to your chair every 30 minutes and you're a hustler like I was, I could sell a 3-wick party light candle, some artistry Amway makeup, throw you an Avon catalog, put you in the tanning bed to get your little fake bake going. Then I would bring you back out front, sell you on some dance lessons. I was teaching your girl dance, cutting your hair. Dave was frothing your coffee. Like, we were doing it all. And you guys, all of the failure that happened back then brought me to a point in 1996 where when Dave said, I'm going to sign up in this little company, I said, you're not doing it. We're never doing it. That's like Amway. I remember Dave's words saying, what is Amway? Like, what's your problem? Why are you so gripey about this? And boy, did I give him an education. And I said, we are never doing that. No way would I ever get in one of those. I mean, what would my dance moms think? What would my girls that come and tan think? My clients would stop coming to get their hair cut? Like, once I was done with it, you guys, I was done, never going back to direct sales. Ever, 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 ever. And when I was praying for something in 1996, Bob Dole was running for president. Dave and I were on the campaign. His grandma was friends with Bob Dole. And not only that, the lady I did hair with was his niece, Uncle Bob. Can you imagine? We got this guy running for president in our little town of 2,000 people. Dave and I were all in. We got the presidential seal. We got the t-shirts. We went on tour with him. We were in Iowa. We were in Nebraska. We were going to Minnesota. We were in Topeka. Like, we were like, this is it. And then he didn't get president. And I can't blame it on which political party it was, but for some reason, everyone in our town, it was 1995. People were going bankrupt. Oil was $7 a barrel. The economy was as bad as it is today. And my husband comes home one day as the water's turned off at the salon. I'm literally washing people's hair, like, my hot water heater must be going out. And they're like freezing, like you said that last week. Like, I couldn't even keep the gas on. I'm dropping my kids off at daycare. People are going, oh, Barb, she's such a hard worker. I'm losing my mind. I can't sleep at night. The bills are stacking up. Like, the debts are high, the funds are low. And then I'm praying, dear Lord, please, please, God, like, if you help me get out of this, like, the car gets repossessed. The dog gets picked up by the dog catcher. I can't even go bail my dog out of the dog lockup. My neighbor lady's across the street, perfectly manicured lawn, sitting in her porch swing, playing with her kids. They're riding their bikes. Like, I'm hating her. Not because she has success and her husband works hard and they're in a different career, but because she has something I don't have. And I was hurting and I was broken. And I wanted to judge all. I hated rich people because I wasn't one of them. I didn't like the people that had oil because I didn't have any. I didn't like the other salon because they were busier. No, nobody was busier than my salon. Let me edit that part. I had the most booming salon, booming dance school, people in the gift store. I was killing it on all fronts. But let me tell you guys something. Some of the people you think are killing it aren't really killing it, because 10,000 would come in and I needed 14,000 to pay all the bills. And I was 23. And that massive financial failure brought me to my knees to say, Lord, help me find a way. And then Mr. Wonderful, Dave Pitcock, signed up in a company, was called Equinox. I made him get a refund immediately. We are never doing that. The Lord tried to bless once. Nope, not that, Lord. Then I'm still praying. This rodeo guy walks in the door, one of Dave's best friends today, Bert Leach, tells him, you need to look at this videotape. I took the videotape, threw it in the back where the trash was in the truck, and said, you're never joining anything. I hated direct sales. I hated MLM. I had no money. I wanted nothing to do with it. And the Lord was like, here it is, here it is, here it is. And I was like, no, God, wrong answer. Because I had status, you guys. I had status. I had a Mark V Lincoln, even though I couldn't pay for the bills, right? I had all the cool Lawman jeans, and I had the fancy little buckles, and the Western was in. Like, I was a bull rider's wife, so, you know, I'll go to Vanderbilt's and buy all the cool stuff. I looked good. I smelled good. Everybody thought we were wildly successful, but underneath it was like this, like paddling like this underwater, just, you know, and on top, everybody was like, look at that beautiful bird. And I'm telling you guys, that's most of the world right now. Everybody's trying to keep up with the Joneses. Everybody's posting on their Insta. Everybody's buying the new car, the Prada, the this, the that, the other. Here's the thing. Most people can't even afford the lifestyle they have, and they're hurting and they're scared and they don't know what they're going to do, and they need some hope. But all you're going to hear is gloom and doom. Don't buy a house right now. Interest rates are high. Well, I bought 3. And I'm telling you guys, here is the thing. The obstacle is the way. When everyone else is afraid, you go move and take the risk. The obstacle is the way. I was reading this last night and I was thinking, it was 1996. Oil was $7 a barrel. Even the oil people in our town, all the names I could name, they were all going bankrupt, and so were we. But guess what? Dave and I made a pivot, and we got in an industry we knew nothing about. We attached ourselves to some mentors. We learned a duplicatable system, and we crushed it. And we made more the next year and the next year than we used to make. We made more monthly than we used to make in the previous years when everybody thought we were such a big deal. But you know what? We had some haters. Oh my God, we had some haters. And I could have stopped. I could have quit, but I didn't quit. And I'm telling you, I don't know where you're at right now, but if you don't want to go to college, don't go to freaking college. If you want to go start a car lot, go start the car lot. If you want to get into insurance sales, go get your license. It doesn't take much. If you want to be a realtor, you can do that online. Be a realtor. You want to be a lender? Go be a lender. Get ready. It's tough out there. Last night, listening to the speaker, I had never heard of him before. I didn't even know who he was. And he was talking about when he used to be in the lending business and when he used to sell for Bally's and when he used to fail miserably and his car got repossessed, he said. He said he had an expedition and they came and got it. He said he had a girlfriend that wanted to go to the movie and he didn't even have money for movies. So he would say, "Oh, honey, I love you so much. Let's just stay home." I'm the kind of guy that really just likes to be at home and just look in each other's eyes and spend quality time together. No, he didn't have $3 for a movie. But today he owns the Yankees and he owns this entertainment channel. Like, it's crazy the success that he's had. Billions. And guess what he talked about last night on stage? All of his failures. So I don't care how many times I failed. I don't care about all the bad stuff that happened. 8 years ago, the girl on stage, let me come back to that story. She was standing there. And at a time when I was so broken, my friend had brought me to this Most Powerful Women's event. She said, "You should be in the $1,000,000 Women Parade." I said, "I don't even want to be in that parade." I was so done with this industry because of the pain and the problems and the egos and the greed and the muck. And like, I was just done. I had made millions. I had lost millions. I had made millions. I had lost millions. And not only had I lost millions, I had lost friends. Friends that I loved based on division and a brand of a company. Been involved in lawsuits. Like, can you imagine you're in a company and all of a sudden maybe don't want to be in a company? So the company gets so fearful that they sue your ass off for years just to try and choke you out. Like, that happened to me. But 3 days ago at the CEO summit, Dave was at the water fountain shaking hands with that very company, and they were saying, "Congratulations." And I looked at Dave, I'm like, it takes a real man to have no ego, to humble themselves, to forgive, and to say, there's enough oxygen for all of us to breathe. We don't have to try and steal someone else's oxygen. There's enough light for all of us to shine. I don't have to blow your candle out for mine to burn brighter. You guys, in The Obstacle Is the Way, last night, everyone went out and I went to bed and read. It was such a fun date in Vegas, right? But I was reading last night and I underlined it. It said, here's what it said about problems. And you guys can all go get your own book. But let me tell you, I'm about to turn up like I have never turned up in my life, break records. I will have the most people here on stage at the GoPro event, making more money than people have ever made, experiencing more success than people have ever success, because I'm going to be that potter with the clay that helps create the masterpieces by bringing out the chunks, bringing out the rocks. Like, if you're smashed, let's knead this out. Let's throw out the sand and the gravel and let's be a masterpiece, because that's what God created you to be. Quit playing small, he said. Instead of opposing enemies, we have, it's not your opposing enemies. It's not the company that tried to sue me or did sue me and literally cost me millions of dollars. It's not the haters that said, "Don't follow her. She's a bad person." It's not the people that said, "Oh, the Pitcocks just get rich because nobody else makes money and they're at the top." Like, I don't give a shit what people said. I don't give a shit what people are still saying. I'm sorry I'm cussing. I love the Lord. I wish I didn't cuss. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I used to say, "I'm laughing all the way to the bank." I don't even care about the money anymore. Do you know what it is for me right now? It's a challenge. When my mother-in-law passed away a year and a week ago, and we laid that woman to rest on a cold November Thanksgiving day, I swear to God, I looked around and said, I had a grandma that was amazing to me. My kids had to have two grandmas. My mom is a saint, but when they lost Dave's mom, I remember thinking, she is going to be this spiritual guide that brings so much blessings and light to all the pain with so much purpose. And when I pray to the Lord, but when I look around, I look for her and I see red cardinals everywhere. I literally see leaders lining up like, yeah, go over there. Go follow these people. They'll help you. Like, there is such a divine anointing right now that's happening with people that truly want to be a game changer. Instead of thinking about your opposing enemies, we have internal tension, we have professional frustration, we have unmet expectations, we have learned helplessness, and we still have the same overwhelming emotions that humans have always had for all the years that humans have ever been on this planet. And this is the emotions: grief, pain, and loss. Grief, pain, and loss. Grief, pain, and loss. And you guys, I'm so tired of grief and pain and loss that I am just going to start sowing into people. Like, let's get lined up. It's going to be love, joy, abundance, happiness, service. Like, let's change the world. Get out of your little funk. Leave your hometown. Get away from the naysayers. Go level up a little bit. Spend $5,000. Come to a GoPro event. Get in that mastermind group with me. Like, that mastermind group costs more than my damn Escalade costs. But you know what? And I got a used Escalade, and it has 140,000 miles on it. So let's put this into perspective, because I'm not about wasting money on new cars, even though I need one. Like, let me not exaggerate. The mastermind group wasn't more than a new Escalade. It was more than a used Escalade. But the value that I got from Eric Worre last month, sitting in a room of 25 people with Rob Dyrdek from Ridiculousness, with, oh my gosh, I mean, one of my favorite books, the author just walks in, like, just walks in to the living room and sits down. I'm like, oh my God. Like, the guy that started the show Secret Millionaire is just like hanging out in the room with us. He's like, yeah, when I started the show, they dropped me in the middle of somewhere down by the Mexico border in Texas. Nobody knew I was a secret millionaire. I'm in the food line. I'm handing out food. He's telling his story, how this reality show, like, how did I get in that room? How did I get in that circle? Do you want to know how? I got invited in the circle because I didn't have an ego. I was rubbing shoulders with the competition. I was doing the right thing even when nobody was looking and I could have done the wrong thing. And I was open. I was open. I was open instead of having an ego. I was forgiving instead of saying, I don't like the people in that group. Like, I was in the room Wednesday with my previous partner who didn't really want to be my partner. And I was a co-CEO, and we were good. She was good. I was good. We were not good together. Let me just say that right in front of the whole world. She's a great leader. I'm a great leader. We sucked together because we were just very, very different. And I'm not afraid to look myself in the mirror and say, this sucks. Like, I need to go where I can be great. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, guys, because I was constantly thinking, what are people going to think? I can't start over again. What are people going to say? Like, I love our manufacturer. I love this team. I love all my people. Like, why am I leading the parade and I don't feel good about being at the front of the parade? Like, it sucked, like, sucked with a capital S. And in the middle of being in a corporate position where I literally had shingles, because I can't lie, I can't pretend, I'm very authentic and open. I had shingles, I had influenza A, I had gained 30 pounds, I was sleeping maybe 3 hours a night. My mother-in-law was dying of cancer. I was her caregiver, and my daughter was overdosing on fentanyl. And I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you this authentically because I literally thought I was going to die. I just was like, what am I going to do? The obstacle is the way. I was praying. I walked away from millions of dollars, a title as a CEO. I was trying to make something happen. Like our financial partner and our infrastructure guy, he's like, you can be up and running in 8 weeks. Like, let's go. Let's start a company. You can do it in 8 weeks. And I was like, I can't even breathe. I can't even breathe. Like, I had to heal. I had to pray with so much discernment. My kids are like, we already have retail stores. We have a killer brand. You got all these ladies that want to sell lotion. Let's just do our lotions and our creams and our oils and everything we've been manufacturing for 2 decades. And I'm like, well, that's not going to change the world. Like, that's a great product. Maybe a couple of them do change the world, but like, that's not going to be a game changer in this industry. I wanted to be different. I wanted to change the freaking world. Like, I was looking at addicts trying to get their life back with no dopamine, no serotonin, depression. They can't wake up. So then they're going to go try another drug to get up. And then they're going to get on this prescription. And they have blame and shame and guilt. And I was like, how could I help that person? I was thinking about the mom that was trying to save the addict that didn't have 30 grand to drop, didn't have 100,000 to spend. You know, here's the reality off the record, you guys. I'm going to change the world in that department, because if you're not rich and you don't have family to make sure that you're going to be okay, you're going to be in jail, dead, or an addict the rest of your life, because it's not easy. It's a broken system. And I was praying about that. I was like, Lord, I got to make millions. Like, I'm going to literally build a resort where every hurting mom like me just shows up and says, please help me save my child. And then we're just like, no questions asked. You don't have to be rich. We got all the volunteers right here. You guys, it's going to be amazing. It's on my dream board. It will happen. But how? I was like, how is it going to happen? And then my mother-in-law, the most vibrant, amazing woman that was in our office every day, our partner in all things, in the bleacher, at every sport, she helped raise my kids. She was the #1 fan. She had all the t-shirts of everything they ever did. She was our biggest supporter. She was customer service. She was accounting. She hired, she fired. She was our appendage. Like, there was Dave and Barb, and then there was Cindy. And that day when she died, I said, I'm never getting this evil freaking disease in my life. Like, whatever, I'm not even saying the word. What causes it? What causes it? And you guys, it was that pain that gave me so much purpose to say, I'm never going to use products that are full of a bunch of toxins. I'm going to alkalize my body every single day. No matter what I do, I am going to wake up and be like, alkalize me, like the battery I used to be, right? Like, alkalize me, alkalize me, alkalize me. Because if an alkaline body stays alkaline, let's just say it like this: an acid body is a great place to grow a whole bunch of disease. So you got to be smart about go Google, like, what should you eat? What should you do? Dave and I had this aha moment where we're like, we're going to lose 30 pounds. We're going to make enough money to fund this thing and not ever have to worry. Maybe we're not good partners. Let's make sure we never have to worry about having a partner, and we can just make decisions based on what's in alignment with us. How are we going to do that? We bought and sold and flipped 4 properties and sold a 10,000 3-story med spa that I had that was cash flowing with renters. We sold it all. And one day we said to the scientists, we're going to send you some money. We want something for mental health. We want something for brain health. We want something that people that don't feel good could wake up and be like, I feel good. And I'm telling you guys, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but because of all of that pain, we worked so hard. Dave was pulling up. We bought a house that had 12 cats in it full of carpet. And we literally gutted that thing and flipped it in 90 days. Just to make $160,000 to get the resources to create. It was a nice house on the lake, let me add. It wasn't gross. I mean, we sacrificed it just to get the science and the research and the name of the company going. And I'm telling you guys, it's fire. It's fire. The Lord has blessed me so abundantly with the resources, the people, the purpose, the passion. And then I don't even have my shipment yet, you guys. I got these little beta testing packets that we got. Check this out. Just pour it. It's got like all kinds of good stuff in it. I'm no nutritionist, but let me tell you what. I took the money and paid one to tell me that nobody else would have what we have, and they don't. And it's amazing. And you know what's really cool about it? Because our vibration was so low, because we were so, grief and blame and shame is like the lowest vibration you can have. Regret, guilt vibrates just one notch higher than death. So there's death, then there's guilt. Do you know that if you're mad, anger is a higher vibration than not giving a shit at all, right? So we were studying these vibrations. Why do I keep saying that bad word? I'm sorry. Edit for all the little kids. My grandkids are probably watching this. If you can raise your vibration and your frequency, if you can get a little notch higher, that is the best way that you can get your body healed. You got to raise your vibration. And a lot of people are laying on frequency tables. A lot of people are wearing devices. They're plugging their beds in to the earth to get the vibration of the earth. You guys, it's a thing. It's a trend. I know it sounds like voodoo, but we are all energy. Everything is energy, and energy is everything. Our bodies are mostly water. So if you don't put any water in your body, newsflash, you're probably going to be sick. But when you put water in your body that has all of the natural things that give you that dopamine, that serotonin, you get the minerals, you get all the good stuff. We have some trace minerals, and I'm out, but you can put one little drop in your water, and then like it gives you all the minerals and the fulvic, and I'm telling you, it helps alkalize and get all the toxins out of your body. So I'm flushing out the toxins, and I'm putting in the nutrition, and I'm alkalizing my body, and every day I'm just saying, I can't cure anything, I can't fix anything. This is not, I can't say any ailments or anything, but I woke up, like I had the wake up call, like I'm going to get better. And you guys, I am better than I've ever been. I feel better than I've ever felt. I don't even have a company yet. We're not even opening until January. But this is the reality. You can do anything you want to. And the Lord will line up all of the right resources, the people, the opportunities, the funding. It's all going to line up almost effortlessly when you get right. You got to forgive. You cannot have an ego. You must repent. Like, I am sorry. That's a hard thing to say. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I'm all love over here. Dave and I stood in front of a Christmas tree Wednesday night with the previous partners that we had, and we said, God bless you and your company. I hope you do amazing things. It's all love over here. We're going to go over here and do our thing, and you're going to go over there and do your thing, and you have majority of the people that I brought to that brand. I love them. I will always love them. It just wasn't the right fit for me anymore. And you know why it was so painful? Because the whole time God was like, please move, please move. What do I have to allow before you're going to move? Like, what do I have to do for you to see what I'm trying to do with you? And you guys, I can't even tell you how good I feel. I can't even tell you how many lives I want to change. I can't even begin to explain the days and nights that I laid in my bed in the fetal position, crying and begging and praying to the Lord, like, please show me a way out of this. And you guys, in every mess, there is a message. And in every test, there is a testimony. And no different than last night when everybody in the room is like, he owns the Yankees. He sold a company for billions. Like, you know what? He was just like me and you. He was a normal, average guy with a story of failure and success and crushing it based on his passion and his purpose that came out of what? It came out of pain because of something that someone said and did to his dad. I'm telling you guys, it was powerful. It was so powerful. And I know I'm a lot for a lot of people, but I'm going to tell you this. I'm not apologizing. I'm not watering it down. I'm not candy coating it. I have no shame. I love my daughter, Brooklyn, more than I love anything. I mean, a mom loves her children more than anything in the world. And I know that her victory, her story from all the pain, we're not there yet. We're in the middle of a mess. But let me tell you something, that story will be so moving. It will change the world, and it's coming. Whatever you're in the middle of, the victory is coming. Dave's got the Starbucks, and we're late to our meeting. But I want you guys to know, I believe in you. You can do it. Go grab the book. The obstacle is the way. If you can look up, you can get up, and you too will have a game-changing message that will create a ripple effect. And one day people will be looking at you when you're on stage saying, "Can you believe what she just did?" I believe in you guys. Go make it a great day. We'll see you next Saturday on No Guts, No Story.